Hi guys and welcome back. This is City Skylines 2, San Francisco, the alternative version. I'm your host and creator Legio, and hopefully you're enjoying this as much as I am, and if you are enjoying it half as much as I am, please do the typical YouTube stuff below. But anyways, let's get into what you're actually here for. So last time we built this custom interchange, and I gotta say, pretty pleased with the way it turned out. I used to struggle with building interchanges, especially without Move It. It's been difficult. But, you know, for vanilla, I think this turned out pretty nice. We got some trains that run underneath it, and yeah, it's got a couple connections, so now we have more connections into the city, which is going to really help alleviate some of the traffic on that main road. So I'm pretty happy with that. But yeah, I've been sitting here letting it run for a little bit, and while it was running, we did get a progression. So let's go ahead and get some of the tiles, because we're going to need tiles for today's episode. Because if you couldn't tell by the thumbnail and the name of the title, we are going to be building our harbors, or at least getting a start for them. We're going to get the bones built. We'll see how it goes. So the tiles I need, I kind of experimented earlier. I'm going to need that one, as weird as it seems. And then I want to grab all these. How many does that give us? 6, 9. We'll grab that one and that one. That gives us 8. And then I think we're going to need that one. So let's go ahead and purchase all those. Alright, and let's see, now we're going to go into our progressions. Let's see what we can't get. I know I want to get a subway. I am terrible at setting infrastructure and transportation lines up later on, so I kind of have to build them as we go, and I know I'm going to want a subway. I don't think we're going to have a huge extensive subway network, but we are going to have a subway. So let's go ahead and get that, and then let's see, we have 3 points. Garbage is an issue in the game. I've seen that in a few plays, so I think I'm going to get the incinerator plant, because that'll give us a little bit of electricity and heat. It takes care of some of it. It does produce ground pollution and some air, but we'll live with it. Alright, so let's go ahead and unlock that, and I think I'm just going to leave this last point just floating there for later use. Yeah, the city's going just fine. The only real complaint we have, besides that building being on fire, is high rent, and that just seems to be a theme across this game. It's something I'd like to see them get patched, but we'll see what happens. But anyways, let's get into what we're actually building today, and we're going to be building the passenger harbor, and we're going to try to get the cargo harbor built. We'll see how we do on time. This may be a 2-episode kind of deal, but we'll see when we get into it. But yeah, let's focus on the passenger harbor, and for that, let me go ahead and show you some Google Earth images and show you what we're basing this off of today. Alright, so we are basing today's build primarily off the Ferry building in San Francisco. Very iconic building. I don't know if it's Golden Gate level iconic, but still a pretty iconic building. Iconic enough that it had its own asset made for it in City Skylines 1, and it was a really good asset. I really like this building. I think the architecture is great. I love the clock tower. It looks really cool. And I've never been. I'd really like to see this building if I ever got to go there. But yeah, we're gonna basically use that as a guide for us today. And what I mean by guide is we are going to try to recreate this road right here, which is the Embarcadero. Hopefully I pronounced it right. We are gonna try to recreate that as best we can and put our ferry building on it. We run into the problem that the map that we're using for San Francisco isn't like a scale map, and it is really hard to build on water, but we're going to do the best we can. So hopefully we can do this some justice. So let's get back into the game real quick. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take our level terrain tool, and we are going to grab a height over here, and we are going to run it straight across, or as best as we can. It doesn't have to be perfect for right now. Just fill that in, and then we'll make our brush a little bit bigger and just fill all this in real quick, because we want a nice straight shoreline for this. We don't need a crescent shaped shoreline. This map kind of followed an older, more natural San Francisco area versus what it is today. So we're going to make the map fit our needs. And now what I want to do is I want to get this hill at a nice good little slope. So let's go about there. Whoops, that is not correct. So let's try this. Okay, much better. I really need to pay more attention to what icons I'm hitting. So we're going to go ahead and slope this, so give me a second. I'm going to get this all figured out, okay guys? Alright, so now that we got the terrain figured out, I want to go ahead and get our ferry building placed, but I need something to kind of work as like a guide, so to speak. And I think I want it to be this street right here, which is Manor Street, because the passenger train terminal's here, so I'm thinking is this road can really run out this way and terminate kind of at the ferry terminal. But I don't want it to stay the way it is right now because it's a one-way, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and upgrade it to medium road, and we're going to lose some businesses and houses along the way, but you know what, it's fine. They'll go back stronger and better than ever, because you know, eminent domain comes for us all one day anyways. So let's run this all the way down at a good nice little 180, give us a nice little guide. So that's good. Now let's go into our transportation and find our ferry, or harbor I guess, I call it a ferry. And we're going to try to line it up off of that as best we can. So, right about there. It doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. Perfection is the enemy of completion. So, okay, let's look at our asset real quick. That's a pretty good looking asset. I like it. I really like the canopies up top. I like how they look like masts and everything. It just kind of gives a good nautical theme if you ask me. Oh, look at the windows on the back. That's nice. It's a very nice asset. I like it. I definitely like it, especially for a vanilla asset. Good job, guys. The sign's a little weird. Leafy. What's leafy? Greens. Fresh all day, every day. Okay. Sweet. Good for them. Oh, I don't like the multicolored bollards, though. That feels weird. I don't know too many places of business that would do multicolored bollards. They probably just do all one color. I'd really like it if they were just the yellow, and the red would be acceptable. I like the yellow, it just makes more sense to me. But anyways, okay. So, now that we got that placed, what I'm thinking about doing is we'll look at our overlay real quick. And so you'll see how on Encambadaro, you have the main road and then it kind of splits into two different roads. They're one-ways. The ferry is going to sit on one of those roads and the other is just going to like, you know, act as a split, and then we're going to have transportation in the middle. So with that said, let's go ahead and get that set up. So to do it, I'm going to go ahead and take this road back a little bit. We're going to go in, and I'm going to take a 3-lane one-way road, and then I'm going to draw that, just running the length of the building. And I'm going to back off about that much. What is that? 3-4 tiles? Yeah, that's fine. That'll be good. So now we got that placed. Now we gotta get our main road connected. And what I'm thinking is I want to use the large 6-lane road, and I want to take it from right about here. Let's see how this is gonna look. Let's run it from there over to here. That looks pretty good. Yeah, that looks. Yeah, so 3 tiles off of that makes a little bit of sense. Let's do the same here, except we're gonna run it. How about like this? Run it out, and then I think we're gonna have to use a curve tool. And let's see, where's the snapping guide? Give me my snap. Is that the snap? That's the snap we want? That's the snap we want. Okay, it just took me a little bit. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and connect up these roads down here, but before I start playing around with that, let me do a quick save and I'll be right back, because I tend to mess these things up pretty badly. Okay, so this might actually be too far away. I want to leave enough space to put like a subway stop in here down the road, but I don't want them so far away that the curves and the connections look weird. So what I might do is go ahead and take that back out and redraw it. I think 2 spaces. I think 2 cells will be enough. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come here, and I might do this. So let's have that, And then we're gonna drag you just a smidge closer and then bring you in like that. And then we're gonna use our curve and bring you in like that and then delete that. How's that look? I think we can make that curve just a little smoother. Let me try one more time. There we go. Yeah, that looks good. I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, let's do the same thing here. So let's get our straight. And I may not need to do this, but I think it does help because I think it keeps everything somewhat lined up. Okay. This road is off just a smidge, so let's go ahead and just take it out. That's fine. Get our 6 lane, and I think I can line it up off of that right there. Go back in, and is that a perfect 180? It is a perfect 180. And now what we'll do is we'll take our curve. I'm actually going to take it from here and run it in like that. Delete that. Go back in, upgrade our road, and turn it. How does that look? Looks good. Yeah, that looks really good. Because, I mean, I'm not going to be perfect on it, but I think that's just enough room, and we can add some trees and everything in here to make it look really good. So I like that. Now let's go and get our medium road, and we are going to connect it down in there. Let's see, where's our midpoint? Let's go from there. Good old 90 degrees, and then we're going to use a simple curve to, well, let's use a complex curve actually. So we'll go from there and in. How's that look? You know, actually, I think we can just live with this not being connected for right now. Yeah. So let me think about the next step, guys, and we'll get right back to it. Okay, so I think I figured out what I want to do, guys. So I'm going to go in and take a pedestrian street, get our straight road tool. We're going to line it up off the front of the building and just run it straight across at a good 90 degrees. Take it out 4 squares, okay? Then what I want to do is we're going to go into our medium roads, and just for now we are going to run them across like this, and it has that connection. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to use a complex curve, and we're going to connect this road up with that down there. And it's going to look a little wonky at first, but I think it'll be alright. And connect just like that. Yeah, no, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. I like the curve actually, because, you know, I don't want the city to be just straight grids, but now the pedestrians have their own little walkway to get across, and we are going to add a subway in here later. I'm gonna bush and tree it out a little later. I like it, because as you come up, you walk in and boom, you can just walk right on in. Yeah, I think that looks good. So now the next thing we need to do is I want to connect this road up down here. So to do that, I'm going to prep this area a little bit. Alrighty guys, so I was editing this and I realized I filmed a whole lot of road work. And without the cuts or the speeding it up, I was sitting at like an hour and 20 minutes. And I didn't think you would have the time for that. So here we are, me talking over it again. We have about 14 minutes of fast play here, so if you want to skip all that, go to about the 27-minute mark. I'll put it in the comments down below. I'm just not sure where to fall. Otherwise, you can just listen to me. I also wanted to take a moment to give the typical updates this time of year. I may or may not get another video out until January. It's the holidays and all. Getting really busy. I got a trip back home scheduled, and a lot of festivities are going on. Like, we're going to go look at Christmas lights throughout the area, and we're going to take the animals to get Christmas presents, and, you know, just a planner book is full. I'm a little surprised I even got this one out. It's been a busy week. So, but anyways, I asked in the last videos if you guys would like me to continue the history lessons, and I got no one asking me not to do it. I also got no one asking me to do it either. So I'm going to make an executive decision and decide to keep doing it, because silence is compliance. Anyways, with it being the holidays, I figured we'd do a history lesson on Santa Claus today, because, you know, Santa Claus probably does visit San Francisco. At least I hope he does. So, disclaimer, if you want to keep the magic alive for your little ones and you don't want them to know all the secrets, it's best to have them go to the other room for a second just to preserve that magic. Anyway, Santa's origins do trace back to a popular Christian figure, that being St. Nicholas. Nicholas, before his transformation, was a bishop in the city of Myra, which is modern-day Dimre, Turkey. Really hope I didn't butcher that pronunciation. I'm getting better, especially without my head cold. Finally getting over that. Nicholas came from a fairly wealthy family, and he was really known for his generous individuality. He was known to give gifts, and he eventually just became a beloved Christian figure after he was confirmed in his sainthood. So throughout time, St. Nicholas merged with other legendary figures such as Father Christmas from England, Santa Claus from the Netherlands and Belgium, and then Yule from the German culture. All these figures had their own mythos and history to them. They all just kind of merged into one being, so to speak. And that's really how that's how mythology and that kind of stuff works anyways. I can do a deeper dive into that. I find that stuff fascinating. But anyways, back to what my notes have here. So with St. Nicholas, Father Christmas, Santa Claus, and Yule, this gave us a more or less rough formation of something more familiar to us as Santa Claus. And this happened somewhere in the mid to late 1700s. This kind of thing doesn't just happen overnight. It's a slow, ever-evolving process for this kind of thing. A legendary figure isn't just made overnight, typically. So, anyways, moving on. In the 1800s, we see a lot of literature that starts detailing and laying the foundation for our basic Santa mythos. Like, he gets his reindeer in this time, he gets his portly nature, and he also acquires his real estate up in the North Pole. This came through various poems throughout time, and I'll put those poems down below. I forgot to put them all in the notes, and I'm not familiar with them off the top of my head. Anyways, Santa continued to evolve in the 1900s, when in the 1930s, his major image, or his American image anyways, was more or less set in stone when Coca-Cola launched a series of commercials giving us the now traditional look of Santa in Western culture. If you've seen Santa in a commercial anywhere near Western culture, his image came from that. That is basically where we got our Santa. Coca-Cola wasn't the first company to do it. I can't remember the first company doing my notes, but they were definitely the largest at the time. They had the reach. They put them on TV, so they're best known for it. I didn't know that until recently, that Santa was, mostly a marketing ploy. So that's great to know. Yeah, take that as you will. Anyways, there you have it. Those are some Santa facts. It's nothing crazy. I didn't want to do a huge deep dive because A, I don't have a whole lot of time. B, I think Santa's fairly well known by now. And if you want information on him, he's all out there. I'll link some of the description or some of the references I use down below, but they're nothing crazy. It's a quick Google search anyways. So, anyways, I thought I'd give something out there for our Santa lovers and those of you who just enjoy a little bit of off-the-wall history. We'll probably get back to our typical stuff in January. We'll see how the schedule works out. Alright, so let's get back to what's going on screen, because that's why you guys are really here anyways. We built these key walls along the waterfront in the Ferry District, and I like the way it turned out. It just took me a while to get it, because as you guys know, building along any set of water in City Skylines 2 is incredibly difficult. I think it's a missed opportunity by the developers. I feel they could have done a little bit better with this one. I'm not hating. I don't know how difficult it is to program things, but missed opportunity. But I know when mods come out, this is going to get a lot easier, and this will be an afterthought in months to come. One thing I don't like about this is you see the land that comes off the ferry building there. That drove me nuts. I couldn't get it to go flat. I think it's just part of the asset. So what I did is I made this little outcropping over here, and I based it off of the Bay Outlook area from the Asheville Ferry Terminal. Not 100% what it's used for. I assume that's tourism like a tourism building, and there's probably like little spots they can look out over the bay and look at nature and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, let me know down below if you know what that's actually used for. I just made an assumption based on a Google Earth image. But for mine, what we do is we end up putting commercial here for right now. I'm going to put a signature building there, but at this stage of the game, cash is fairly rare for me, and I go through it rather quickly. So I just put commercial there to get some tax revenue. I'll probably come back and put like maybe the tower. I think the tower would look really good here. And just, you know, make it a little bit more touristy, because the theory is you come in off the ferry, you just walk over to this little area, you get lunch, or, you know, just look out over the bay and just have it be a little tourist trap area. And, you know, tourist traps aren't always bad. They generate money for cities, and they are fun to do. It gives you something to do when someone comes in from out of town. I don't mind touristy areas all that much. I just don't want to live on them and near them. But anyways, more screen stuff. I struggled with this because the land out here just didn't want to cooperate. Water kept filling in places that it really shouldn't have even been in. So you'll see me struggle. Like, look at the water right there. Like, I filled that in several times. I don't know why it kept coming back. Like, I don't understand water in this game just yet. I'm hoping something similar to Skylines 1 comes out where I can just drop my own water sources. I'm sure we'll get that at some point, or something similar. Like, I'm in the glass half full for this game. A lot of people I see, especially on Reddit, are just obliterating this game, and I don't get it. You guys do realize when City Skylines 1 first came out, like, after the first 2 or 3 vanilla cities, there's nothing more to it. And they made City Skylines 2, I think, with the intention of us to mod the crap out of it when the time comes. Now, I don't like the fact that they didn't allow us to have Steam mods. That's got me concerned. But I think it'll be okay when they go live. I think they're going live in January. I'm not as up to date as some people. But I think everything's going to be fine. And if we don't enjoy the game, we just go back to Skylines 1. That's what we'll probably end up doing if I'm not enjoying it anymore. But for right now, I am enjoying getting back to a vanilla build. It's not the end of the world. I think we'll be fine. Anyways, that's enough of my rant on that. So, still fighting with all the water and everything. We eventually do get it to look good, and you'll see the cinematics. I do like the way it turns out. I think it looks good. I had to rebuild this area about 2 or 3 times to get it to look somewhat to the way I want. I imagine whenever I have more ability and more power with the game, I'll rework the area a little bit more. But I do like it. I think it's unique. I like these unique shapes coming out. You see the dotted lines. I can't build into that. If I could, it would have looked a little different. But we take it as it is. And then we just kind of line this area up and try to bush it out here in a little bit. You'll see trees going down and just a little bit. I may have done that off screen actually, or I could have cut it in editing. I don't remember what I did. So now we start filling in this area with a whole bunch of zones. This is about to be very zone heavy. I cut a lot of this because I didn't know if you guys would actually want to watch me zone all this, but I kept enough so that when you come back into the next episode, you're just not like, hey, he left a whole bunch of stuff out and he did a bunch of off-screen work. Now, I did all this on-screen. The thing was, it's tedious. I think it's kind of boring to just sit there and watch someone go, okay, let's put zones here, let's put zones here. So I just speed through it, or I'll cut a little bit. I try to keep the continuity while also keeping it entertaining and not wasting your guys' time. That's just my theory, my thought process behind it. I don't know if you're enjoying it. It's enjoying it enough to get me 1 subscriber basically every week. So something is working a little bit. But yeah, we also fill up into this neighborhood up here. The next episode you're going to see this neighborhood starts to really take off. I do some more work up there. I really enjoyed the next episode, so stick around and make sure you guys check that one out. And if you enjoyed this episode, you know the typical stuff to do down below. There's your typical reminder. But yeah, I think the vision of the city starting to come together. We're going to make some big expansions coming up. The big thing limiting me is I'm a slow builder. I'm a tedious builder. You guys have no idea how many times I'll build something, hate it, demolish it, and then rebuild it. You don't see all that. because I want to be the best, but I'll never be the best, and I just have to accept that. So now we just get into the world of me having to accept my failures. But yeah, that's basically all I have for this little talk. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this build, and if you are, please do the typical things. I'm going to let the music play me on out.
Turning back, I won't stop, I'ma fight until there's nothing left. It's so on, you're gonna be hurting bad, cause I've been to hell and back. You don't wanna make me mad, I stay strong, you will never see me crack. And if you get in my way, you're gonna feel the wrath. Gotta say it to my face while he's looking back. Mirror breaks after math, when I hate I attack. I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. Don't be scared. Stepping up, don't be scared.
Alrighty guys, we're back to some live play. Had a lot of fast play going on there, but it's worth it. I kind of zoned out while I was zoning out. Yay for puns. But anyways, I think it's filling out pretty good. We got some taller buildings coming in over here, and they're all looking mighty spiffy. I think the harbor district's going to look really good. And then, we got the downtown still kind of growing there. And we're going to gradually de-zone the low density here and gradually up-zone it. But, we need the demand for all that to go. So, let's go ahead and wrap things up. And there's a couple things I want to do before we finish. One is I want to rework some of these districts. So I'm going to drive the Croft district down like this. And then we're going to start a new district like this. And we'll take it over here. It doesn't have to be perfect. There, 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 and there. Okay. And it's not going to be Garnet Terrace. This is going to be the Ferry District. I think that makes sense. And while we're at it, it's going to have roadside parking fees, recycling, and then energy consumption. Okay. So we got that. So people who live in the Ferry District and all that's great. It's going to primarily be commercial and office space with some residential throughout. So yeah, pretty happy with the way that's turning out. I know it looks crazy, but I kind of like the crazy. And I think as it fills in, it's going to look good. Let's see, what are some of the other things? Oh, right. So as I was simulating, I think we have a problem up here with some crime. And I got something a while ago and I just forgot to put it down, and that is that's the welfare office. So we're going to go ahead and put the welfare office down. I think I want it to go right here. What is this? The post office? Oh, okay. Well, actually, what we'll do is we'll run a road then. No big deal. We just run a road up this way and like that. And we'll go in and we're going to grab our welfare office, because this is going to help the less fortunate and it increases the well-being of the surrounding neighborhood. And as you can see, that area, it's pretty far away from the police office. It's pretty far away from the schools and stuff, besides the high school. So we're going to put the welfare office right there, and that is immediately going to make a difference, I think, because you can see we're having abandonment issues, and we don't really want that. So welfare office is in. yeah, and it's going to employ 12 people. Good for it. So doing the Lord's work right there. I can't get over how difficult it is to work with the terrain. I don't know if you guys can tell, but it dips. I can accept it, but now we have this hill here, and that bugs me. But I can fix that by just adding bushes and stuff, and maybe fitting a tree in there. Can we fit a tree? We can fit like 1 or 2 trees. Yeah, we'll just fit some trees in there, and as it grows, it kind of hides that hill, especially the spruces. I've noticed the spruces can hide some stuff pretty well, so we'll just smack some down in there, and then just, go about our day. I don't want to spend too much time on it. Again, this is a vanilla build. If I had my, if this was like a heavily modded series, I'd spend way more time fixing stuff up. But it's vanilla, and I take forever to build stuff anyways, so trying to get things perfect is my biggest enemy, and I'm just trying to work on accepting sometimes things are the way they are. But I can't accept abandoned building icons, so I just go ahead and demolish those. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much the episode. Yeah, I had a lot of fun building this one. I think this was probably one of the better episodes we had. Even though we don't technically have a ferry line in yet, that's literally going to probably come the next episode because we're pretty close. I'm just running out of time, and I don't want this video to be insanely long. So, again, if you enjoyed the series, if you enjoyed this episode, and you just enjoyed me making a fool of myself on YouTube, please do the typical YouTube stuff. Leave a like, comment, share, and subscribe. Other than that, guys, that's all I got for you today, and I'll see you in the next episode.